Just for the record. Omega!
Plans of destruction.
You over here at the fair though. Hey, we're here with the young legend, Ryan. Tell us what you got here for us today.
Yeah, hey, what's up guys? I took Pendulum Magicians to my regionals. It's kind of like one of my favorite decks and one of the decks I'm really known for. So yeah, I got a 29th place. I went like 6 wins, 2 losses, and a draw. I could have probably done a little bit better, but I still did all right in my opinion. So, but yeah, I'll show you what I got. So yeah, pendulums. I'll kind of start with Magicians. We got 3 chronographs sorcerer and the 1-time gazer. Just an extender that gets you into this because it's really important to make Electromite. I don't know, like you always want to like have an extender plus a normal summon to get to your Electromite prior to the pendulum summon. So yeah, it's really good. And you can also scale it, which doesn't really come up because like time gazer is like a really bad scale, but if you really need to, it comes up. 3 wisdom eye. Basically, if you have another scale, you can just like tutor it for another replacing scale that you want, so that's really cool. You typically favor pairing this with the high scale or Oath Dragon typically, so it's really nice. It gives you like a +1 because it gives you something to pendulum summon out later. Another card that's a +1 in essence is Harmonizing. It lets you summon a magician from your deck, so you can turn it into rank 4 plays, links, or level 8 synchros, and those are like some of the best utility you have in your deck going forward. 2 Oof Dragon Magicians. Oof. Basically, yeah. Basically, it's like it gives you a plus. Adds a Magician Pendulum from your extra deck to hand if you have another Magician, and then also like adds one if it gets summoned to the field. So that's really cool. Also like makes some of your other like rank 6 plays. There's like one rank 6 in particular you play. It's really good in the deck, so I'll show you that in a sec. 2 Black Fang. It's basically Gale the Whirlwind for Magicians, and I really like Blackwing, so I really like comparing that to that card. And it's also a Monster Reborn for Dark Spellcasters. And then 2 Purple Poison. It's kind of like the Kalute the Moonshadow. Again, more Blackwing cards, but like, you know, just for the Magician deck. And it pops face-up cards when it gets destroyed by battle card effect.
Nice.
Yeah. We got 1 Janky Magician for the level 7s. It's just this level 7 Dark, and another target, a high scale Dragon Pit, which is another level 7, which comes up because you make a particular rank 7 in the deck that sort of like is your sort of bread and butter play in the deck, honestly, right, going forward. Except for the Magicians, somewhat like decent count. It's pretty standard, honestly. 3 Dark Worm, and then the 2 Gate Zero. This card's really good because this is basically like your new Performance Pile like Skull Crobat Joker that gets you like a free card. And it also just like is a low scale whenever you want it, so it's really good. And it's a level 7, which also like you play like a rank 7, like I mentioned before. You're always trying to get to or race to every single play you get. 3 Cerberus, and then the 2 Jockey. This is really important because granted it doesn't offer you a plus, but it puts on like so much pressure on your opponent because this thing is like you just scale it, add this, and then scale it, and then pop it, and it summons this 2800 beat stick to the field. And you can banish like one of their monsters if you rack up enough counters, which is really easy. And this card negates monster effects if anyone activates a spell, basically. So it racks up 2 counters, you can just remove 2 counters and negate monster effects. So it's really crazy. You have these like access to these like really cute, gigantic boss monsters in the deck that put up like an immediate threat for your opponent. Last Pendulum card I play is 1 Curtain Raiser. It's like the last extender I play, and also like probably the weakest of them. Kind of unique. He goes up to 2200 attack if he's the only monster in your monster zone. So you can crash into Naturia Beast or run over Inspector Border. So that's really cool.
Wow. It's
only a once per duel, so it's kind of fitting that you only played it 1 anyways.
Huh.
At least for the scale effect. 3 Pendulum Call. This never got ashed for me, like met by Ash Blossom and Joy Spring today, but it's really cool. I really like the card a lot. It helps consistency and yeah, gets you to your skills that you need. This card got ashed quite a bit today, actually. About half the time, like I'd activate and they'd always just have ash, and I'd probably like fold up my deck and just go to game 2. But when it does resolve, it's a really good feeling, and I love playing the card at 3. It's like my favorite spell card in the game, so I kind of have to play it in most decks I can play, honestly. 2 Allure Darkness. It's also another one of my favorite draw spells in the deck. Just cycling through whatever scales that you want to really race to is really nice. And then we got the one Upstart Goblin for 39 cards because I like math. So yeah, you gotta narrow down that consistency, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Alright, and then the last spells, we have one Foolish Burial and one Dragon Shrine. These basically, they just, ideally, you want to send this card, because if this card is chilling in the graveyard with no other monsters, you can special summon it for free, and then on summon, he searches for the Gate 0. Yeah, the Gate 0, and it's like a free plus. And on top of that, you didn't even use your normal summon yet, so once you normal summon, you can make your Electromite and race for that play.
It's wild right there.
And for the extra deck, we got the Young Electromite.
Young Electromite.
Yeah, it was like enough to get me there, you know. Like it's weird. A lot of people think like we're afraid to try this deck again after one Electromite. Electromite was announced to 1. It's definitely still like good at 1. It's just you have to really just like you play a different style. It's not a resource game anymore. The deck changed to where like you make the Electromite, send your thing or whatever, or use whatever whatever utility you want from it, and then like you set up your negates, and then you kill with like your other extra deck monsters after that. And that's how like it plays. It's kind of like similar to the Burning Abyss deck basically, where they make Beatrice and then they try to disrupt your opponent, and then you just kind of get to your, you stun them and then you just kill them the next turn. That's how the deck operates. It's basically Burning Abyss now.
Wow.
And then, we have a Land for Lankus. This is a generic link too. It comes up in certain situations where I don't want to make Electromite and I have the cards and I don't want to risk Electromite being ogred. So it's actually kind of nice. Metaltron, you typically make this after like you link away one of these two.
Okay.
And it provides you kind of just an additional 2,500 body that they sort of have to play around. You can get resources back with them, because if something from the extra deck leaves while it's pointing to it, you get to recur a resource from basically a monster from the graveyard or the face of extra deck, and that's really good. People don't read that, and then they have to play around it really hard. It's kind of a hassle for some decks.
Nice.
Moral Sword, this card is just basically the win condition of the deck.
Sword.
Missing those 2 Electromites isn't so bad when like you can just set up with your Electromite and then turn your Electromite or whatever 4 monsters into this and just kill them. And that's honestly what Burning Abyss does. They just set up Beatrice and race to this card, and my deck just summons this and races to this card. So where like Burning Abyss has like Beatrice that accesses the whole deck, you can access your whole deck with the 1 Electromite. And it's like basically almost like the same thing, except I'm doing it with a Pendulum deck instead of a Graveyard deck. Kind of a unique dynamic. Moral Load, this came up a few times today. Non-targeting, like taking monsters against like decks like Cosmo and stuff. Yeah, really good. Some people, it's still oppressive for some decks, and it's really nice. I like kind of like playing both these like in the same package in an extra deck. The one Vortex and then the one Absolute. This is the rank 7 I was talking about that you always try to make. So you stick 2 level 7s and then you send it to the grave by link summoning with it, and you summon this guy. And this guy negates spells, traps, or monster effects just by returning face-up extra deck cards back to the deck. And it's only once per turn, but I mean during other player's turn. But it's like very oppressive sometimes. Naruto kind of like just negates spells and traps by having 2 level 6 spellcasters, and all the level spellcasters are or all the level 6s are spellcasters in your deck. Carnagorgon, typically like I make this against Sky Striker. This is like the rank 4s or whatever. I make this typically against Striker, Dweller against any graveyard deck, Tornado against any back row deck, Castel for basically just generic like just removing a card off the field that's face up without destroying it. And then I played the Nightmare. I didn't really like this card. I summoned it once and it just wasn't very good. I took it out for Dark Rebellion, the Supreme King Dark Rebellion. It was a really good card. Like I just really thought like I need something for Thunder Dragon, but I wouldn't try playing this going forward. The cool thing about this deck, I will say, with Pen Magician, if you know what your opponent is playing, you can like craft like whatever board you can to accommodate to their deck. So if I know you're playing, like if I see 60 cards in your deck, I'm gonna make Abyss Dweller and like stick another thing with it, or I don't know, like if you're playing Sky Striker, I'll stick Carnagorgon and something else with it, like Vortex, and that really puts pressure on them, and they can't really out it because like sometimes like the rank 4s are so oppressive that like they can't out it and they can't play their deck normally, and that's really good because everyone's like on link monsters and everything like that. The deck focuses on, it's like just kind of like old school utility extra deck monsters like rank 4s and level 8 synchros. There's still a lot of power behind those cards. The one Omega, this is like really good because you can obviously banish around the card.
Right.
But also, you can, if it ever goes to the graveyard, you can shuffle itself and another card in the graveyard back into the deck. So you can shuffle back like what's it called? The one Electromite that you have in your deck.
Oh,
back
right.
into the deck, into the extra deck, and then remake it later.
Nice.
That's really cool. And typically I make it usually if I don't know what I'm playing against. So I'll stick like Vortex in this, and then just like banish this, and then I'll get knowledge of what they're playing, and sort of like going next turn, it's like, oh, it's Sky Striker, I can just stick Carnagorian. Or if it's like Burning Abyss, I'll just stick a Dweller, and that usually just gets you the game.
Nice.
And then Clearwing, if you make this card, it's basically Raigeki.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
all it does. It's Raigeki, and it's really good. So, going into the side deck, this is only 14 cards. I was kind of in a rush. Don't question me on that, but yeah. This is 3 Apex Avion. This card negates any card or effect by returning itself to hand, and because you're playing a Pendulum deck, you can just keep recurring it. It's probably something I was like main decking for such a long time, but I took it out because it was kind of bricky at times. But looking back, I'd probably put it back in just because it's like so oppressive, and I felt like sometimes my boards needed more like of a more of a triggering effect to it. So I probably would figure out putting it back into the main. 2 Pankratops. This is like for back row decks primarily, but 2600 that can clear monster or clear any card by tributing itself, and you can pen summon it if anything else. That's really nice.
Right.
If going first or second, actually in my deck. 2 Danko. This is for back row decks just to like stun them. Sky Striker 2. It's a really good card against Striker if they don't preemptively flip any cards.
Right.
Definitely got me some games against Striker because I played quite a bit of them today. Gameciel, just 4 kaijus basically. I just did 4 different names just for, I don't know why. Like, it's probably not the best idea to do that, but I did it. This is honestly just there for like Sky Striker because you can clear the the Link monsters without them recurring their monster, and Thunder Dragons because Titan like is really oppressive. I don't have to worry about the mistake too much, so I just kind of like just give them kaiju and like I can play my game. Then the last card was 3 Red Reboot. I saw this like every single time I played against a trap deck. So if I was playing Ultrageist, I had this, and like I was able to like Boil Sword kill him on the same turn, or Demise Cosmo. I'd be able to get there. I don't know if you have any like questions for me, but yeah, that's my deck.
So overall, how would you sum up your experience?
At regionals today?
San Jose Regionals.
Yeah.
Young Legend.
This is like my 14th or like 15th like regional. It's like my 4th like invite or whatever. I've been to nationals once. It's really cool. But yeah, it was like a really fun event. Honestly, like I will say, like guy behind the camera, Reggie. I was after like round 5. I was like, I think like 2 wins, 2 losses, and a draw. And at that point, I was about to just like give up right there. And then like he kind of like prompted me to like keep playing it out. And I had to like win, I think like 3 or 4 straight. And I managed to do that. And I'm just like kind of happy that you Reggie like kind of like forced me to do that. So
hey,
really
thank you.
Because I was like really drained and tired. I'm running on like 5 hours of sleep.
And you
I'm
drove
not really
us.
cognitive right now or anything there. So
Yeah.
what's up? Any other like questions or anything? I mean.
So what was your best matchup?
Oh yeah, I can go over my matchups. Yeah. Give me a second. Okay, so round 1, I played against Demise Cosmo. I won in time. Round 2, I played against Gem Knight FTK. I was about to scoop the game 1, and he didn't have like the combo, like the complete combo. So I was left at 2,000. And I was able to kill him. And it was so weird because like like at that point I was like I just like gave him the we had like 10 minutes on the clock left, and I was like. I just like gave him the game 2, and then when it was like, you can just have game 2. I'm gonna go to game 3 and just like play my actual deck and just beat you. And that's what.
Dang.
Game 3, I played.
Dang.
A little cocky there, yeah. Game 3.
Ouch.
Game 3. I played against Sky Striker. I lost in time because I wasn't able to enter my battle phase like with 20-30 seconds on the clock because that Carnagorgon I could have put up the damage, but. He kind of like stalled me a little bit, but I'm not going to blame him too much there. I mean, it's kind of like part of the game. He had responses, and I couldn't really do anything there. Round 4, I played Ultrageist, trap deck. I managed to like beat that. I 2-0'd it, I think. Round 5, another Ultrageist. I drew with him when I probably should have like kind of played like probably scooped a game and try to play the game 3. Let's see. Round 6, I played against the Sky Striker. I managed to beat him in like game 3. Round 7, I think there was another Sky Striker I played against. I kind of know the guy. He's cool. No. Like it was okay. I'm sorry. Like there's also a Trickstar Sky Striker in the mix too. I lost him. I know him from local. He's a cool guy.
But yeah, he like hella wrecked me. He had like hand shots for every play I tried to do. He had like Ash on both desires on each game. And yeah, and then the round 9 I played against Cyber Dragon, I 2-0'd that. Yeah, what was I gonna say? I don't know, like, Pendulum Magicians have a pretty fair matchup against most of the decks, honestly. Like, against Ultra it's fair, and Stunted Dragon, it's actually somewhat fair. Against Striker, Striker's actually more of your favorable matchup because they're giving you more zones to play off of, to Pendulum summon from. But yeah, I don't know, like, I had a lot of fun today. It was really cool, just like enjoying the experience with you, Reggie, and everyone else in the car. And, yeah, it was like...
Oh yeah, I had fun too. Yeah, that was real fun.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, thank you.
This is like my favorite deck, so I'll keep playing it for like a little while until something else piques my interest, so yeah.
Nice. All right, you heard it from the young legend, Ryan Walters. How's that invite?
That was pretty good. I mean, I actually already...
Yeah.
Okay, so like, I already had my invite apparently. I forgot, it was like from the OTS or whatever, but so I guess I'm just playing for glory, and I guess I kind of got that today, so.
Nice.
Yeah.
GG.
Yeah.